Hey, what's going on, everyone? In today's video, we're going to set the throttle linkage on this. As you guys know, I replaced the engine in the 600 Nitro, and the carburetor, the arm on it is just slightly different. So I've got to loosen the arm on the new carburetor, and we have to completely set this thing up again. We got to set our high points, got to set our low points, and we also need to set where the carburetor is only halfway open. That way we get equal throw going back and forth. This will help us in the next video where we go in and we set the governor up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the canopy off. I'm going to take that camera and I'm going to put it right down here to where you can see exactly what I'm doing, and I'm going to show you on the computer what I'm doing to make these adjustments. So without further ado, let's dive up close. Now you'll have to forgive all the loud noises. What I've done is I've turned the helicopter on, I've got my radio on. Now I just need to go in and set up a linear throttle curve. Alright, I got a linear throttle curve. As you can see, there right there is the very bottom. Now in this flight mode, the governor's on. That's why the throttle servo is going so slow. There we go, that's better. So, that's full open throttle. That's full closed throttle. Now, this is closed and this is open. See the little marks right back there? That middle one is going to be halfway open. That's what I want to meet with this when it's at mid stick. So right there it's at mid stick. I'm going to go ahead and adjust this one, and I'm going to adjust this one so that this line between that center bolt there and this center bolt here, it's exactly 90 degrees from that line to the line on the arm. As you can see with just putting that on there, I didn't have this set up right before. I threw this thing together. As you can see, this one's kind of coming up a little bit. That one's just barely up on this side. So this linkage is actually just a hair bit too short. I need to extend it out. Alright, that right there is about as close as I'm going to get. So what I need to do now is I need to set this arm up down here to where when I have this linkage on, that little mark on the inside barrel is meeting up with the middle of that outside barrel. Now remember what I said, I actually do need to extend this a little bit. Now as you can see, the angle here and the angle up here is a lot closer together. These arms here and this arm here is almost perfectly straight with each other. So now what we need to do is we need to take out this screw and actually center this barrel. Alright, now if you notice right here on this barrel, it's only got these little bitty marks on the outside. It has no teeth on it to hold this arm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this linkage on. Now we've got to get this barrel turned to where it's right there in the middle. As you can see there, that's pretty close. I'll try my best to hold that barrel with my finger and then tighten it up. Now that's pretty close right there. There's all the way closed on the transmitter, and there's all the way open. It does have a little bit more in it, but not a lot. That's right there at the end. Alright, now we need to go into the program on the computer, and we need to set the high and low points for this. Remember, you need a linear curve from 0 to 100 in order to get this all to work. Alright everyone, well, as you can see, I'm in the iKon program. I've got it connected up to the iKon on the helicopter. You can probably hear it buzzing behind me. I've got my radio still on, and as you can see, there's speed 1, 2, and 3, and that's just with me moving the throttle, as you can see right down here. And what we need to do is we have 0% on our transmitter, and if we go all the way up, we have 100%. What we need to do is go in and actually adjust the servo so that it's not buzzing anymore. Now right down here on the helicopter, what we're looking at is that little mark right there and then that little mark right there. What we want to do is we want to lower the low throttle, which would actually be like raising the low throttle, I think. I don't know. So what I'll do is I'll hold my stick down, because my stick kind of bounces up to 1%. And we'll take a look at that mark, and then we'll move one way. As you can see, going positive is actually opening it, and if we go negative, right there, it's right on the mark. We can go a little further. It starts binding right there. So I'm going to go, it was 3 clicks back, and that just started to move the barrel. Alright, now we want to go to full throttle. My barrel is not exactly right because my full throttle is actually binding right now. So what I'll do is I'll hit this negative, then we'll hit positive, just check and see where everything is. It's binding right there. Alright, it just started to move the barrel. That right there is a perfect throw. And if I turn it straight on, as you can see, the two servo arms are moving almost identically. I extended out that rod, and now everything is set up perfectly. Alright guys, so there you go. That is all there is to setting up the throttle linkage on a Nitro helicopter running an iKon governor. It is really that simple. You set your servo arms to where they're exact. Mid-stick on your linear throttle curve is going to equate to right at that middle line in the middle of your barrel on your carburetor. And then you just set your highs and lows. You've already calibrated your transmitter in the iKon program, so it knows what 100% is, it knows what 0% is, or 100, negative 100. It knows what all that is. Now we're just setting up the servo to let it know where everything is on that carburetor. The only other thing we got to do is go into our radio, go into the throttle curve, and instead of having 0%, we need to raise that up to like 6% at the very bottom stick. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow us to idle. It's going to open that carburetor a little bit. Now on my radio, I have this button right here set to my throttle cut, and I'll set that at 0% so it completely closes it and it shuts my engine off. That's how easy it is to set that throttle linkage up. If you have any questions, come on over to the forum and post up, guys. I'm happy to answer any question you guys have. If you have suggestions on what you want to see on this helicopter, what videos, post them up. I want to hear them. You know, I'm looking for more videos for this 600 helicopter. I want to thank y'all for watching. I look forward to seeing you on the forum, and we'll see you guys in the next video.